Hi everybody, this is Loopy Pro. Okay, so Loopy Pro, I mean, man, this thing is like out of this world. Um, if you haven't been following any update news or anything like that, this thing will just basically wipe you off the planet. Now, we all remember the original Loopy, which is this one. Yeah. If you're familiar with this one, you'll be right at home with the new one. The new one just is miles above the original. The original was brilliant. The new one just will knock you out of the park. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're presented with is a set of loops, right? Um, Traditionally, you just record something and play around with like boom, 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 that's traditional stuff, yeah. Um, and on the basic level, that's what you get, and you think, well, yeah, okay, that's great. But you can customize this. This is just out of this world. So to customize it, you press the pencil down the bottom left hand side. Boom. Okay. We can simply just get rid of the ones you don't want. You can add more. It's up to you. So we'll delete these. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a couple of one shots. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just tapping down the bottom left here beside the circle to put one shots. Yeah. If you want to, you can have widgets. You can have a button. You can have a pan volume. You can have a slider. You can have a horizontal slider, sorry, a vertical slider. You can have a XYZ pad, and you can have a slicer, and you can even add your own text. I mean, what else would you want? When you come out of edit mode, the whole thing basically resizes to the size of your screen. Okay, so now you've got one shots. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then you've got a button, a slider here, which is a regular slider, and then you've also got your up down slider. You know, this is your XYZ pad up here, and then you've got your pan volume control, whatever you want to do. The good thing about these controls is you can assign these to absolutely anything. I mean, you name it, you can do it. You can MIDI assign. You can program them. You can trigger. You can make them trigger other pads or other loops. You can make your loops or your one shots trigger them. So literally, you can program them, and then when you trigger a loop or a one shot, it will execute whatever you've programmed. Then you've got your slicer, which is the down here on the bottom left, where you've got the several pads here. You can assign that to a pad, and it will automatically slice everything. For example, if I record something into a pad like boom, pew, ah, e, o, ah, okay, that one there, right? So now you come to this pad down here. You hit your pencil, you go into edit, and now you decide where you want to add it. Where's the target? Well, choose your target. Your target is this one here. Okay? Now you come back. You're done. Come out. And now you use these pads. You got boom, 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 ah, boom, 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 ah, boom, 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 boom. Man, it's so simple. Um, I mean, and that's not even going deep. People see this, they think it's just a regular looper. Man, this thing is like too deep, right? Let me see. So now you got your loops, you've got your slicer, you've got your pads. What else do you think you need? What, that's not, that's that. It doesn't stop there. You've also got your mixer. Here's your mixer, and your mixer is all color coded. You can route any of these pads to anything else. You can recolor them. You can insert send effects. You can insert a bus effect. You can add buses. Hit your plus down in the bottom right hand side here. You can add a bus. You know, add a bus. There you go. It's a bus. Now you can send any of these to your bus. So you want to send to bus A, you send it to bus A. Yeah. If for some reason you want to reroute, let's say, something that's in the color orange to something that's in the color yellow, well, there's your orange one right there on the second channel. So now you just go ahead and hit 1, 2, and you decide where you're going to send it to. You're going to send it to green, let's say. Okay. So not only is your sound going to green, or sorry, not only is your sound going to your master output, it's also going to green. And then while it's going to green, it can be sent through any effects and go all manner of ways. So you can resample, sample, send it anywhere. And how do you organize your tracks? Well, your tracks are color coded, and even though you've got pads, let's say specifically you decide a couple of your pads you need to send them out somewhere else, maybe to a different bus, or maybe you want to send them to a different set of effects. Easy. Come in here, press your bucket down here at the bottom. You've got colors. You can add a color by hitting plus, choose it, and now you can color code your other pads. And when you come out of this, you've got yourself another mixer channel with purple in it. Everything that comes from this purple channel can then have its own set of effects. So, I mean, wow. Every individual piece can have an individual output and can be rerouted. You can group the colors, you can group the pads, you have your slicer. It's kind of like, wow. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you, okay? Mike Tyson, who's responsible for creating this super application, I've been heavily involved in the development of it, so I've been working with him for a long time during development of this. And the plans for this don't stop here, you know. His plan is basically to continue developing it. The problem with most people in the App Store is they produce an app once, and then it gets many sales, and then after that, then the interest kind of fades away, you know. With this one, it's all about support. We're going to start supporting the development of this. You pay once, you get the app, and once you've done that, you get all updates, you get all the bug fixes, and bug fixes are forever, you know. After a year, if you want to get all the latest new features, you can just pay an extra charge, and then automatically you get all the extra features. You continue getting the bug fixes, but you get all the extra features, and this just helps him continue to develop it. This app is going to be basically continue developed. Where it is now is already mind-blowing. Where it's going to be in a year, basically the potential is unbelievable. Right now, the way it's sitting, the programming features of this thing basically allow you to do everything. Whatever these things don't do, you can change them. You can go in, you can make them do things that wasn't originally programmed to do it. For example, when you press the pencil, you've got your editing. It says it's your color bucket. Just press the grid, okay? And you can go into everything and anything, right? You can program what happens during playback. You can program what happens during recording. You can set global settings. You can set color settings. Follow actions. What follow actions do is allow you to add specific functions for an action after. So let's say after you have decided to begin recording, what do you want to happen next? You can have it solo automatic, you can have it mute, you can have it change the parameter, you can have it clear the clip, you can have it merge or move to a different clip, you can multiply the length, you can have it divide, and these are just some of the things. The list goes on and on and on, and there's more being added. So literally you can customize this to whatever you want. And as you can see right here in the settings, you can go ahead and you can edit, zoom in, zoom in, zoom out, and you can change the bands, you can change the speed, you can change the playback settings. When you turn on playback settings, here's what you have in here. You can decide how things play back. You can decide how one clip plays back. You can decide how a color group plays back. So follow actions, gestures. How do things work when you tap a clip or a widget? What do you want it to do? If you two finger tap, what do you want to do? What you see here is only a few things that they have, but as soon as you hit plus for, let's say, two finger tap, okay, what else do you want a two finger tap to do? I mean, and that's just the surface of it. It's just amazing, With the way it is now and the potential for it in the future, you've even got a sequencer. What else could you want? Here's a sequencer. You can record your performances. And there's one thing that's in this that is not very well highlighted, but I'll tell you about it now. It's live streaming recording. What do I mean? Well, in the original Loopy, you could set it to output an audio file of your performance. Okay? And that was a single file, right? In this, you can now tell it to send out live tracks. So literally every single track in this session can be streamed directly to your hard drive or directly to your iPad memory. So when you're doing a live performance in real time, everything, your individual tracks can be recorded out, streamed. So when you're done, you've got full audio tracks that you can then do whatever you wish. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can practically do the same with the sequencer. You can simply sequence everything, live recording, sequence everything. And when you do that, again, same thing. You can either directly export something, or you can, if you've got something in here, you can directly export it as multi-track or as a single stereo mix. Now, I prefer the live audio streaming because when you do the live audio streaming, not only does it stream the individual tracks, but it will also stream the mix, and it will also stream the live input as a separate channel. And when it's done, you literally can do anything with it, So back to the main interface. Just what could you want? What can't you do with this thing? It's so amazing. I've seen a few people in the App Store. They don't get the whole support thing. Obviously, anyone that's already familiar with Loopy loves it, and anyone that loves it will obviously absolutely go bonkers about this one. The configuration is just so unrestrictive. If you want, you can set this thing up to operate exactly like Ableton Live. Anyone like Ableton Live? You can set this up, and you can do it by using a thing called grouping tracks, right? So we go into edit mode, okay, and we just get rid of a few things here. So just clean it up, get rid of my widgets, okay, and then I'll just move these around a bit. Okay, so let's say you want to set up a track, and let's say you want it so that a group of tracks play just like in Ableton. When you tap one, or maybe you want only two in a group to play, you can simply tap on groups here down the bottom. It's the icon to the right that has four little circles and a little groups. Do that. Okay. Now you can go ahead and just select what you want. This one here, group. Now they're grouped. Now when you play one, all three will play. And then you can turn this into a group. Group. Now you can set it so that when you play group 1, group 2 stops. When you play group 2, group 3 stops. So you kind of get the idea. It's exactly the same as Ableton, right? And then these are loops. Of course, they're circles. But they don't have to be circles, you know. You can make them squares, you know. All you do is hold it and then just move it up. There you go. They're squares now. Yeah. So if you have anything in there, they're going to be showing as squares, right? So, for example, if I go testing 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, okay. So there it is. Okay. Now it's not playing right now because I've got the volumes down. But there you go. So what have you got? You've got loops. You've got one shots. You've got an XYZ pad. You've got a slicer. You've got You've got widgets. You've got MIDI assign. You can set these to MIDI learn. All you do is go to the menu, and you go to MIDI control, and then you can just learn whatever you want, you know. And so down the bottom you see MIDI learn. Here you go. So now all you do is tap the widget, control, one shot, loop, whatever you want, and then hit a controller. It's assigned. You know, it's as simple as that. It's assigned. Then you can play it. And one of the things I have to also shout out about is you're not limited to one page. You know, when you're done with one page, you can actually add another page. Right? All you do is, again, press the button, press plus, and you've now got several other pages. So quite literally, you can have page B, and you can add in, you know, some more loops, you know, or some more one shots. Maybe again you want another slicer, you know, or maybe two slicers. You know, you can customize this thing. Like your pages can be, one page can be loops, one page can be let's say one shots, you know, and then another page could be some controls, or again some more loops, you know. So you've got a loop page, you've got a one shot page, you've got a combination page, you've got a production page, you know. So it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, how many ways can you configure this thing? You know, super stuff is all I can say. Absolute super stuff. I think this particular thing, basically, it's a multiverse of loopers. And then, of course, you can add in effects. As if that wasn't, as if what you had already wasn't good enough. Now your effects, you have AUV3 effects you can add in. You can add in anything you like. He's got his own built-in ones at the top here. But if you wanted to add your own, you just go ahead and add it in. You know, whatever you've got, just add it straight in there. You know, and it shows up. And as you can see from the left-hand side, the top ones are pre-fader effects. The next line is post-fader effects, and then the next one down below is your sends. So literally, you basically send it to another. You can send it to another channel, or you can send it to a bus. So you have that, and I love the way you don't have the regular circles. So you gotta go in circles when you tap something and move out from it. So you go and move out. You've got this thing that expands. So basically, you have fine tuning of how much send or how much volume you send to each of the channels. You know, this thing is just super. So literally, there's nothing you can do with it. There's nothing you can't do with it, is what I should say. It's all up to your own imagination. Um, you want more loops, you get more loops. You want one shots, you've got one shots. What do you want to happen when you press a one shot? You can program it to do everything, anything. You know, um, you can program other actions for other actions. You can program widgets and then have widgets triggered when something else is triggered. You have a sequencer which allows you to sequence what you play in real time. You've got a live stream output that will record every single individual track in real time while you perform. So at the end of your performance, you've literally got an exact copy both in master and in individual tracks of what you've actually recorded. Loopy Pro is now going to basically knock every other looper or maybe even DAW out of the water, because literally this is a one-stop shop, and is as if it wasn't bad enough that you can actually add AUVs in here, or that it is literally a one-stop shop. You can actually use Loopy Pro as an AUV. So if you've got some other DAW that you use or some other system that you use, you can literally load it into it and use it as an AUV. So that's pretty much everything to do with Loopy, without blowing your mind completely. So if you know the original Loopy and if you love the original Loopy, you're just going to be blown away by Loopy Pro. My recommendation is go get it, go buy it, support Mike Tyson for this app, and help it develop so that it becomes basically de facto in production, you know. And I've every confidence that the more that everybody supports it, that this is literally 1 year from now, we'll come back to this video and we look at this and we say, man, that was primitive compared to what is now, because he has plans to do a lot of things. I mean, add MIDI loops, you know, is one thing, you know, and a few other things beyond that. And I'm certainly going to be working with him in for the future to make sure that everything works and to provide extra ideas and make sure that this thing just keeps going, you know. And I appreciate your time with this video today. I hope you enjoyed what you got, what we went through. Any questions, obviously post and I'll be happy to answer. Please do subscribe, you know, and ring the bell. It'll help. Apart from that, guys, chill, enjoy, super, wonderful, have a great time.